Festive season is upon us, and Thanksgiving is a beloved American holiday. It's full of family, friends, food, and tradition. But tradition can be a bit tricky to follow if you're a vegetarian or cooking for one. So today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to modernize Grandma's Thanksgiving stuffing. Let's get cooking. The night before you want to make your stuffing, you'll need to get your bread ready. How much you're going to need is going to depend on how many people you're cooking for. Believe it or not, this is actually going to make a small batch. You can see I've got some whole wheat, I've got some white, some cornbread, some pieces of baguette. It doesn't matter. Just dig in your freezer and root around. See what you can find. Rip it up into small little pieces like this and set it on your counter the night before with a clean tea towel thrown over it. I learned how to make this from my mother, who learned how to make it from her mother, and my husband's grandmother made a similar recipe as well. You'll need a nice heavy pot, and I'm going to use some olive oil. Now, my grandmother would have used butter. Please, if you're not vegan and you like the flavor of butter, by all means, use butter. I like the flavor of a nice olive oil. Saute some chopped onion and some chopped celery. Feel free to use those leaves if you have any celery with leaves on them. A little bit of garlic. Again, that's a modern addition. Let this cook until the veggies are soft. Once the vegetables are soft but not brown, add a pinch of sea salt, some pepper, and some herbs. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of dried sage. You know, when you're using dried herbs, you want to use a little bit less than you would when you're using fresh. The rule of thumb is kind of 1 teaspoon of dried for every tablespoon of fresh, and a teaspoon of fresh thyme. Stir that up. And now I'm going to just start adding my bread cubes. Just add a couple of handfuls. Give it a stir. And I've got a pot of warm veggie stock on back here. I'm going to add that. A ladleful at a time. Give it a stir. Just go back and forth like this, adding some bread cubes and some veggie stock. Sort of like you would make risotto, stirring and cooking. The veggie stock is a very harmless substitution to help make this dish vegetarian. Our grandmas would have made it with turkey stock and turkey parts. I've got the oven preheating to 325. I've taken off my bread risotto from the heat, and I'm going to stir in some fresh chopped parsley leaves. You know, I mentioned the veggie stock. It's so easy to make your own, but don't feel pressure. The holidays can be stressful enough. You can buy some really good veggie stocks pre-made. Add a pinch of baking powder to a beaten egg and stir that in. Add some toasted chopped walnuts. Sometimes it's family tradition actually that we would make oyster stuffing, and instead of chopped toasted walnuts, it would be some fresh oysters. Scoop your stuffing into a prepared dish. Just give it a nice coating of olive oil so it'll make cleanup easier. And I know you're probably thinking this is not stuffing because you're not stuffing it inside a turkey. But aha, I am stuffing it inside of an acorn squash that I've baked for about 20 minutes. So it's not quite all the way finished because we're going to bake it some more. If you've got a vegetarian coming for a holiday dinner and you don't know what to serve them, this would make an awesome main course. Super easy, and they'd be grateful. All right, once you've got everything stuffed, you're going to pop it in the oven. I said 325. This is really flexible. If you've got other things in the oven that you're cooking for a family feast, it's pretty forgiving. Pop it in the oven until it's brown and crispy on the top. For wine, Debbie at the Cellaret helped us pick a Beaujolais, which describes the region in southern Burgundy that this wine is from. The grape is Gamay, and I think it's going to be nice and light and fruity and just perfect with our vegetarian feast. You know, the point of Thanksgiving is to be grateful for family and friends and blessings, and nobody wants to feel weird or funny just because they don't want to eat something, so there's no reason not to try just a little twist on tradition. It's so delicious. Why not? And perfect with the wine. Bright, light, yeah, and fruity. Nice. Get this. Glory has taken a pledge only to find vegan beers for Veg with Lisa. Cheers to you, Glory. This particular beer is a Saison or farmhouse ale. It is a beautiful, as you can see, straw color, and it's supposed to have a nice tropical fruitiness to it and a bit of a complex peppery finish, so let's give it a taste. Oh, I can smell the fruit right off the bat. Oh, complex indeed. It's delicious. Happy Thanksgiving.